Hi guys, Dr. Anjana Bana here and welcome back to my channel. I am with Dr. Z and Dr. Shahien, my friends from Nelspruit, and I'm so happy to have you guys with me.
Such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for having us.
So we're going to do a lot of talking on camera. We've spoken lots and lots and lots now off camera as well about, we talk all the time. So just a range of nerdy stuff that we talk about. But today we're going to be talking about medical misinformation, especially stuff that you find on social media related to aesthetics, and then also like going on from that, the importance of a consultation. So people think because this is aesthetics, or they don't even call it medical aesthetics, or it's like a beauty thing, that a consultation is not important. Listen, I want to do my crow's feet. Can you just do my toxin, my botulinum toxin, or they don't see it as a serious medical procedure. Yeah. So what have you seen out there in terms of misinformation, like medical misinformation? Like what has struck you as concerning?
I think patients' idea as to what is the norm, this has changed drastically. And we can always say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, this is true. But if patients are bombarded, specifically on social media, with outward images, this becomes almost their normal psyche. And often when patients arrive with these befores and after photos, these are the expectations that are drawn to them. When I look at these, even for me as a medical practitioner, sometimes it's hard to determine what's real and what isn't. How much of those after photos are adulterated? How much of it is truly real? And this is where the misinformation comes in, because it sets a tone for expectations that are not necessarily reality. And I think for you guys specifically, it's quite important to critically look at the photos. Is the lighting the same? Is the lens distance the same? How much of it actually is real and how much of it is Photoshop or have been changed or just new filters being applied? And I see patients that come with photos, befores and afters on their phone and say, I want this. And we have to now determine, is this real? That's one. Two, even if it is real in that specific photo, does it apply to you?
Individual results may vary. That's I know I put
underneath little asterisk. Individual results may vary.
So that's the thing, and also what goes into those treatments. Because I was asked by another practitioner, she's like, "Do you think this was the only thing that was done? It was a biostimulator. Because look at the structure, look at this." So being upfront with what else was done, if allowed. This is a journey. This wasn't a one-shot sort of treatment. And you're right, because every patient reacts differently. And then the results in a postmenopausal woman would be different in a 30-year-old woman. And depending on what was done. Besides that, you're talking about like perception drift wise, and as the practitioner also to discern, because now we're bombarded, and I don't think this big lip thing will ever leave. And I mean, naturally, we actually, because of our ethnic group, have big lips. It's like that's our normal. We have that's like naturally. But I suppose it can be big, but well shaped, in a well structured, but
in appropriate sense.
Yes, and it's just how things have changed, and we were discussing this. It's in one of the videos. I don't know which you'll have to go watch all my videos. But we're talking about
the videos.
Back in the day it was Twiggy, or like maybe Paris Hilton was like blonde, blue-eyed. Their lips weren't that big. That was the ideal, and then boom, here's the Kardashians, and there's like a different beauty ideal that people aspire to, and it has become the norm. So even us,
standards being set,
as the doctor, like what is our norm actually?
That's true.
Yeah. What is your norm? What is your norm, Z? What do you think is beautiful?
I think keeping a natural look for that patient.
Yes.
It's nice when they bring their younger photos. Then you can see and try to recreate, restore that volume loss, or just restore the youth. So I think that also that would be my ideal, to try and restore that patient, not try to change them into someone else, or try to aim for an ideal.
Yes.
Because as you said, what is the ideal now? Because it can be different in Caucasian, in Asian, in African, so there's all of that to take into account as well.
For me, and I still think of it, it disturbs me. I talk about it now and then.
It disturbs you.
It disturbs me. It hurts me personally.
I'm perturbed.
I wake up at night thinking of it.
In a cold sweat.
Okay. But we were all there. It was one of these events. There was live injecting. And it was just the look on the patient's face with the doctor, and everyone was, oh, hail this man, and she had a very pronounced cleft chin. And I know my husband denies whatever, but I can feel it. And I actually made my receptionist feel it. I have cleft chin, like very light. But I mean, my dad has a cleft. So for me, like to inject my chin, I'm very wary because I don't want, even though nobody can see it, I can feel it. I don't want anyone to touch it. Right. But he was saying, cleft is very masculine. It's very masculine. It doesn't fit you. We must obliterate it. And she was very offended because her dad has a cleft. She's like, oh no, and you could tell from her face now, it's probably going to work on her mind, like, oh, is this attractive? Is it okay? I mean, those conflicting feelings. So we have to be careful about what we say to the patients, but also like, what are we being taught, and like we have to also think critically, like individualized patient.
Yes.
What's wrong with a cleft in a woman? What's wrong with a full lip in a guy? What's wrong?
That consultation process is critically important. We do it for every
comes back to consultation. Absolutely.
Everything else in medicine, where there's a doctor, there's a patient, we have a chat, we find out a biopsychosocial, we get a history, we get to understand what the social background of our patients are, we understand the pathology that's involved and what we're trying to do, and this we discuss with our patient. Every other medical condition, this is what we do. We shouldn't, and we should be aware that we're not imposing our own ideal as to what is beautiful directly onto our patients. There should be something that should be a two-way street where patients' ideas as to what their picture of the endpoint should be, and we should be the gatekeepers to make sure that this is within reality and within the mind of a sane person. This should be what we're aiming to, and then together with us as the injectors and the patient, we then chart our plot, our pathway to get there.
Do you then also refuse to see patients that will not have a consultation?
Yes.
So yes. But it's a journey, guys. We've been doing this for some time, and a lot of the people who watch these videos are also other doctors, younger doctors, and it's difficult. It's difficult to say no. You know why? Because we want to help. We want to improve. It's in our nature, and you get caught up in that. You know what? I just need this. I just need this. I saw this on Instagram, but there's a lot more than the physical that goes into these treatments. Consultations are important, and not something on DM or I went to my doctor, she said XYZ. What do you think, doc? But you in another province. So for those sort of things, the consultation, a face-to-face consultation is really important to decide if we, as a patient doctor, congruently or the same vision. Can I do what your aesthetic expectations of me? Do I want to? Are you mentally and emotionally stable enough?
And I think for
to accept that,
it's really important also to be aware of conditions like body dysmorphic disorder, where patients are not within the capacity to give informed consent. They're not able to make that decision.
Or they're at a stage in their life where there's some like trauma that's happened with whatever it is, and they're using this as a crutch. So this can't fix your life. It gives you confidence, it gives you a boost, but you have to be in the right frame of mind to accept the treatment and to accept the change or the not change. It's a very dangerous part. So people think it's
Fixing
easy.
that question is not going to fix your marriage.
No.
Yeah.
Won't get your husband back. So no, it's we're laughing, but it is serious. So also, if you're vulnerable or if you're not, I will not treat. Not because they say what first, harm.
Yes.
It's not only physical harm, mental harm, emotional harm. Yeah.
Emotional.
So
to take all of that into account.
So what you read out there, just be careful, guys. Like, especially if a person like this is the greatest treatment, this is the best. Nothing is the best. My whole practice is combination treatments. I think most of my patients have it. Every little bits of everything that has made them or maintained them in a certain way. And there's no one thing that is better than the other. And I think people are, I don't know what you're chasing. What is everyone chasing, want something new. Do you know botulinum toxin has been around for yonks? It is still the top non-invasive. The fillers have been, there's nothing, there's some new tech, there's some new improvements in radio frequency and lasers, but there's nothing that is overtly new. And I think instead of searching for something new and trending, we should do what's suitable, what's safe, and what works and what's effective.
Even if we do, which medicine does produce, if the industry does produce new tools, they're exactly that, they're tools.
Yeah.
We need to be using it as now practitioners, using the appropriate tool in the correct and appropriate circumstance. And like you said, combination therapy is most likely the answer. We age in different ways.
Like, talking about trends, like now the biostimulators are in. It's like a trend worldwide. But they've been around for over 20 years. And they've been in use. So no, you're right. So yes, there might be like technique improvements and continually improving ourselves and our techniques. That's important. But I think doctors, we have to think critically as well as the general public out there. Any last message for the people out there?
I think another thing that we need to mention is that these days on social media, everybody gives their opinion and information, and we have to also, that can be construed as misinformation if you look at it. Sometimes it's not really based on science. Yes.
So, I know, but there'll always be someone debunking them. They'll do on TikTok a stitch, so you don't overdose on magnesium, or I saw one that said something about women shouldn't have six packs, and there's so many different opinions. Yes. But
from a
you're right.
Scientific point of view, opinions and even expert consensus opinions is the lowest form of evidence.
Yes. But aesthetic medicine is a lot of that. Right? Yeah. Yes. But it took us a long time to learn this. But thanks for joining us, guys. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, this is a big video to unpack. There's a lot of misinformation out there. And if you are uncertain about a treatment, I would still say consultation and consult your practitioner. If you're not certain about, or you unsure, you are, obviously you can have a second opinion, but not on a DM. Not on Instagram. Go see a practitioner. And do your research. There's nothing wrong with Googling and doing your research. There's a lot of good information out there, but be critical about what you read.
Find a practitioner that you trust.
Yes.
And then get their expert opinion. That's and the only way to do that.
That is scientifically based.
Via consultation.
Yeah.
That's scientifically
based, yes, because that's Thanks for joining us, guys. If you have any questions or comments, down below, like, share, and subscribe.
Find the most interesting misinformation that you've come across.
Post that. Please do. Put it in the comments so we can comment. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye.
Thank you.